question 2, part B, part 1. In a study with 668 people above, we need to just look at this question bit by bit. You'll get confused if you look at the whole lot just all in one go. You could briefly just read through the whole thing if you like, but we're going to have to break it up into segments. In the study with 668 people, let's have a look at that there to begin with. 668 people, and yet in the table is talking about males whose dandruff improved and males whose dandruff didn't improve. This entire table then is talking about males. We've got 94 males in total out of the males who didn't improve and the males who did improve. This 94, it's all about males. This 668 people refers to the previous table here. In the previous table there were males and females. It didn't mention that, but you can assume that. And it's talking about, doesn't matter whether it's a male or not, but there were 668 people in total. Over here we're looking at just males, so that's really just a trick, little bit of information there that you can cross out and you don't need. It's irrelevant to this table that we're looking at now. There were 94 males taking part. 94 males. Let's have a look at the table. Okay, well, that information has been nicely given to you. 94 in total. It's down here. Already put in there for you. And 64 had their dandruff situation improved. 64 had their dandruff situation improved. Let's have a look at that there. Males whose dandruff improved. Doesn't matter whether they're using gone or off. The total number, or the number whose dandruff condition improved, goes here. This is including gone and off. How do we know it's including gone and off? Well, 64 had their dandruff situation improved. Doesn't mention gone or off. Assume that's the total. Total males whose dandruff condition improved is 64. Okay, now we can fill in part of a table here. We know 64 plus something equals 94. 64 plus 30 equals 94. So you can fill that in there, 30. Now let's look at the next little bit. 25 males were treated with off. Okay, circle that. 25 males were treated with off. Alright, let's look at the table. Doesn't mention whether the dandruff condition improved or didn't improve. It says clearly 25 males were treated with off. That's all it is, as simple as that. Treated with off or used off, 25. Put the 25 in the totals. Total number of those who used off, 25, and also so this number plus this number must equal 94. So work that out, and you just go 94 minus 25. Okay, so 69 plus 25 equals 94. That's how you get that 69 there. And the same number with off as with gone had not improved after treatment. Same number with off as with gone had not improved after treatment. Let's look at the table. We've got males whose dandruff didn't improve. Same number, gone and off, had not improved after treatment. Just look at this here, because males whose dandruff did not improve, that's what that phrase is talking about, had not improved. Well, which part are we looking at? Which part of this here? It's obviously this column here. This is to do with didn't improve. Okay, which part of it? Well, I say it's the same number with off as with gone had not improved. So we'd expect this is the ones that didn't have any improvement. who used gone there, and these are the ones here who used off, who didn't have any improvement. So the same number did not show who used off and gone did not show any improvement. So those two numbers are going to be the same. We've got to add up to 30, so they've got to be 15. They've got to be both 15. 15 is 30. Okay. Now there's no more information given to us, but we can fill in the rest of the table. Okay. We know that this number and this number equals 69. So 54 has got to go there. Just go 69 minus 15. And 25 minus 15 is 10. Write down 10 there. You can just double check that these two add up to that as well. It's a way of just checking. 54 and 10 is 64. So that's all correct. The table is all correct. Let's look at the question here. Find the probability that a male whose dandruff had improved had been using gone. A male whose dandruff had improved. Males whose dandruff improved is here. A male whose dandruff had improved doesn't mention anything. And that phrase doesn't mention anything about any specific gone or off in that phrase. So let's just look. That phrase refers to the 64. There's nothing mentioned except for a male whose dandruff had improved. So we're looking at total males whose dandruff had improved is 64. Over 64, put the largest number on the denominator. Check that that's the largest number in a second. Let's look at the second part here, that second phrase, had been using gone. Well, if we look at this here, we can see that 54 out of 64 had been using gone. 54 out of the 64 who showed some improvement in the dandruff, 54 were using gone. So 54 goes on the top. You can see it's smaller than the 64. And we can reduce that to a simplified fraction. 64, ABC 64, was 27 out of 32 as a simplified fraction. And that's our answer.